Ruth Maguire, followed by Polly McNeill.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. This year, we've faced the single greatest public health crisis of our lifetimes. On an almost daily basis, myself and my hard-working constituency team have spoken with people worried about their families, their health, their jobs and their businesses. I understand their concern. All areas of our lives have been touched: our health, the economy, our society as a whole. Everyone's been affected, but undoubtedly some have been affected more than others. We're not all in the same boat. The harms caused by the pandemic and the harms of the measures put in place to keep people safe and save lives are not felt equally. Existing inequalities have been exacerbated, and as is often the case, the burden has fallen on the shoulders of women and children, older people, those with disabilities, and Black and minority ethnic people. But we've also seen what's possible, that with urgency and movement of resources, change does not have to be at glacial pace. The rollout of the digital consulting system in the NHS was completed in less than a month. A new hospital was created in a matter of weeks. Our citizens sleeping rough on the streets were given places to stay. And unprecedented support for business was distributed quickly and effectively. Presiding Officer, legions of volunteers and public sector workers made sure that those most at risk in our communities had access to food and medicine and human contact. I know that we're all very grateful to them. But our gratitude is not enough, and I believe now we have not just an opportunity, but an obligation to build on good policy and practice that's been implemented during this pandemic to bring lasting change and not just tackle but end inequality. And as we rebuild our economy, we must make sure it's stronger, fairer, and more sustainable. And we must address many of the deep-seated challenges, the injustice of inequality that so many of the people that we represent face. I welcome that the programme for government aims to do just that and shows determination to recover from this virus and deliver a fairer, greener, more prosperous Scotland for everyone. There's much to talk about in that programme in terms of addressing inequality, but I'd like to spend my time on housing. We've delivered over 95,000 affordable homes since 2007, including 60,000 for social rent. The commitment from government to complete the delivery of 50,000 affordable homes as quickly as it's safe to do so is particularly welcome. In the most recent reporting year, relative child poverty after housing costs was 7 percentage points lower in Scotland than the UK average. This is a significant impact delivered by housing and articulates why it's so important that we continue to progress affordable housing across the country. Good quality, affordable homes, as well as being good for health, support valuable local jobs. They're a good example of creating a well-being economy. I've raised the issue of affordability of housing association rents with the Scottish Government a number of times and gave an example of one constituent who, after a 6% rent increase one year, saw his rent increase by 6% again the following year, higher than the consulted amount, with few or no improvements to his home. He told me that his rent had increased by 30% over 5 years. I believe that as we commit to address unfairness, affordability of social housing for low-paid workers requires urgent attention, and I ask if, when summing up, the government could comment on what action they'll take to deal with this particular problem. Presiding Officer, any vision to improve our country, to make it fairer for our citizens, can't ignore the constitutional question. More and more people see the constraints and the risks of being tied to our larger neighbour. They also see the possibilities of restoring independence to Scotland. If this was a programme for government in an independent Scotland, we wouldn't have to contemplate the damage of Brexit. We wouldn't have to spend our money mitigating heartless welfare policies, and we wouldn't have to plead with another government to take action. Instead, we could just do that ourselves. Even more far-reaching plans, things our people need. An immediate extension of the job retention scheme to protect business and save jobs. The greater use of borrowing powers to further stimulate the economy. Borrowing powers of any other normal country. Transformation of our national grid to support faster development of renewables. A migration system that recognises talent, not bank balances, and welcomes and supports people to make Scotland their home and enrich our country. A universal basic income and a social security system geared wholly, not just partially, to lifting households out of poverty. Our Scottish Government's programme is strong. It will make a difference to the lives of our citizens, but we could do so much more. And as each day passes, the case for restoring Scotland's independence grows stronger. The Scottish people are sovereign. They will have their say. And as we do the work to build that stronger, fairer country now, that's a day I'm very much looking forward to, Presiding Officer.
Thank you very much.